Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again for another episode of Unlimited Replay. I hope you're all having an awesome day. Today we're going to check out the Disney Collection. This is a game that I was super pumped for. I think this might actually be the first Disney game I've ever reviewed on this channel, if I'm not mistaken. And you can argue that Disney's for little kids, but Disney back in the early 90s was the shit when it came out to video games. I mean, they made some of the best games out there. And this is kind of a cool feature right here. It's got a gallery where you can look at all the artwork and all kinds of different marketing materials for the games back in the day. I always like when game collections do this because it gives you kind of a behind the scenes look at all these games. So already this game is getting a thumbs up just because of this. I love reading through all this material and looking at it. I'll look at it a little more on my own later because I want to get to the gameplay. But this Disney Collection is a compilation of 6 games. It was back in the day when Capcom was making good games. I mean, there was a time when Capcom was the king of the video game industry. They used to come out with hit after hit after hit. I mean, Mega Man, all these Disney licensed games. This is back from a time when Disney and Capcom were both good. I think they both kind of suck now, to be honest. Capcom doesn't really make a whole lot of good games. I don't even think Disney really makes games much anymore. There might be 1 or 2 in here I never played, but I guess today I'll show you guys the first level for each one, because there's 6 games. That'll give us a healthy little dose of the Disney Collection there. Let's go and start with the classic everybody knows, DuckTales. Let's see. I really want to pick Transylvania because I like Castlevania, but we'll do the Amazon because that's first on the list. I seriously feel super nostalgic right now just playing this. As a grown man, these games genuinely make me happy. The music is happy. It's stress-free. I mean, the game's not stress-free. These games were always super hard, but it's nice to... Oh, what the hell? Oh, that was so cheap. As I was saying, these games are the kind of games Shit. These games are the kind of games that you play as a full-grown adult when you just want to sit back and relax and not worry about bills, not worry about work. Just return to a time when you were a child with no responsibilities. So I've been walking the wrong way this entire time, so I had to turn all the way back around. I'm assuming I have to climb up this vine. I always thought DuckTales had a very, I mean, the gameplay's different, obviously, but the level design to me always had a very Mega Man feel to it. And you can't really attack enemies other than jumping on this pogo stick. And I remember back in the day, these controls were actually pretty challenging. They did take some getting used to, because you don't just jump and press a button to attack. You have to, like, jump and then hold down the D-pad and B. And that's how you bounce on your pogo stick. But it's critical that you master these controls. Without them, you're screwed. I mean, this game requires a lot of precision. Die, Donkey Kong. I used to get so anal about collecting these treasure chests too, like I wanted to collect every single one of them. Oh, it's this guy, I don't remember his name, the pilot. Do you want to lift back to Duckburg, Mr. D? No, wait. Oh crap. I'm playing on a PS4 controller. I'm not sure what B is. I think it would be square? Okay, it's square. Perfect. Oh! Whew. God, where are these guys coming from? I feel like they keep coming up, throwing things at me. Oh, crap. Ooh. Ah! How do I get up there? Pay $300,000 to pass through here. I don't have $300,000. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. Use your cane to defeat the treasure keepers. Okay, well, thanks, I guess, because that's the only thing I could really do. Boss number 1, the treasure keeper, I guess. I always thought the bosses in this game were kind of easy, too. I mean, like, this thing just kind of bounces around. I just died, so I look like an idiot now. Yeah, but it just bounces around, and all you gotta do is jump on its head. Boom! It looks like I got the fire rod from Zelda. That was the end of level 1. Next game on the list we're going to check out is Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. Oh, just listen to that music. So good. See, Capcom games always had good music, too. I mean, leave it to the people that made Mega Man to make good music in a Disney game. I swear I used to watch this cartoon religiously when I was a kid. I mean, whenever I turned on Disney Channel and that theme song would kick in, oh my god. It was a religious experience for me. Oh crap, I thought I could jump down there. This game's a lot of fun though. It's a platformer where you just kind of jump around and avoid obstacles and you throw boxes at enemies. Oh, there's I don't remember his name, the fly. Zipper? Leave me a comment down below if you remember his name. I forgot. And I'm too lazy to look it up right now. I was gonna say he's kind of like your Mario star in this game. He's more like if anyone out there's played Captain America and the Avengers, the beat 'em up, the arcade or Super Nintendo, whatever version, when you find the Wasp, that's what she does. They act kind of like a shield between you and enemies, and they go around killing them. Oh, I remember this. You have to stack these things to be able to get up there. I hate how something falls on your head, too. It makes you dizzy. It stuns you for a second. Can you imagine a little chipmunk running around your house throwing boxes and wearing Indiana Jones-style clothing? I would absolutely keep him as a pet. And here's a boss, and I don't even know what the hell this thing is. It looks like a bunch of poker chips stacked together with a green ball, like an arcade joystick on the top. I'm not even sure how to hurt this thing. What do I have to hit? Oh my god, that couldn't be more obvious. Okay, so you have to just avoid those little lightning bolts and then hit the green ball. As a veteran gamer, I probably should have known this. Quite obvious weak point. Boom, first boss down. Next game, Tailspin. Oh yo, oh yo, oh yo, oh yo. You know what? This one, I did not play that much as a kid. I remember renting it. I rented it one time. I don't remember a lot about it. I do remember returning it the next day, but I don't remember if it was good or not. I don't know. This will be a nice little reminder. See, this one's kind of confusing, though. It's like a little jet fighter kind of game. I want to compare it to, like, Gradius or R-Type kind of thing, but it's nowhere near as detailed or in-depth as those games. You could, like, turn around like this, too, and go backwards in the level, and it can be kind of confusing with the controls. Sometimes you hit that button without intending it, and then you're turned around, and then you have to turn back around, and I don't know. I don't know if I care for it. Oh, no. Baloo! Speaking of which, yeah, this is Baloo from the Jungle Book, isn't it? Where's Mowgli during all this, I wonder? Or I wonder if it's like a stage play where all these characters are just like playing different roles and he's no longer a jungle beast. Now he's like a pilot or smuggler. And I remember Shere Khan in Tailspin, I think he was some kind of like corrupt businessman or something. It's been years since I've seen that show. I put on Disney Channel sometimes for my kid now and he watches it, and I feel like all these kids channels suck now. That could be just my old man nostalgia side coming out, but they really do. Like, I never see anything on there that's interesting at all. Things that I don't think I would have found interesting at all when I was a kid either. Like, there's no good cartoon shows for kids anymore. I mean, back then we had like Bonkers and Tailspin. There was an Aladdin TV series. There was so much good stuff on the Disney Channel. I don't even know what's on there anymore. It sucks. The last good show that I remember on the Disney Channel is Tron Uprising, which kind of filled in the gaps between the two Tron movies. And I thought it was awesome, but they canceled it after one season. Like, it's not out on DVD, it's not out on Blu-ray. I don't know. I don't even know why it got canceled. That show was amazing. Darkwing Duck. Across the street from my house when I was little, I had this game rental place called Movie Scene. Back then, I mean, there was no readily available internet in everyone's household like there is now on everyone's phone and all kinds of devices, so we had to rely on Nintendo Power and magazines to really know what games were coming out. And I specifically remember a friend at school showing me this game in one of those Nintendo Power magazines, and I was such a fan of Darkwing Duck that I begged my mom to take me to Movie Scene to see if they had it, and I remember being so upset. I went there for a good week and a half, and it was always rented out. They only had one copy of this game, and I could never get my hands on it. I remember I found it really cheap at my local flea market, and I ended up convincing my father to buy it for me, and I was the happiest kid on the planet, man. I love Darkwing Duck, especially if you're a kid from the early 90s. One of your favorite cartoon shows by far was Batman the Animated Series. Every kid loved it. I still love that show. It holds up. It's not even a kiddie show. It has some really adult themes in it and some deep storylines that were just amazing. And then Darkwing Duck came out, and it's basically Disney's Batman, but you're a duck. The idea sounds so stupid, but I don't know why it works so amazing. And I remember all his villains too were pretty much just rip-offs of other supervillains. Like, I don't remember his name, the electric guy. Something Bolt. There was an electric guy that had like a electric socket on his head. He was basically his Electro. So when they came out with Darkwing Duck cartoon, I was all over that. One thing I really like about these kind of games is that they all feel different. They're all made by Capcom, they're all Disney properties, but no two games feel the same. Well, other than like, DuckTales 1 and 2, it's still DuckTales, but I mean, different franchises, it's not just a copy and paste, it's completely different play style. This one's cool because it's kind of like it's a mix of a platformer and a shoot 'em up, and what you're seeing me doing on screen here, it's pretty much all you do. I remember there were some really cool boss fights too. All you really do is jump, shoot, avoid enemies. It's simple, but see, back then, games were allowed to be simple. And they were just fun little experiences that you didn't have to... I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about modern gaming, because modern gaming is outstanding. There's so much production value in games now, but games now can easily take 80 to 100 hours, especially if you're a completionist like me and you like collecting everything and doing side quests. These games back then were just simple, let me sit on my ass at home for 2 or 3 hours and blow through this game and have a blast. That's okay. So this is Wereduck, a werewolf duck. Or I guess just a wereduck, because there's no wolf in him. He goes crazy when the moon's full. Oh, you know what's kind of cool that I just noticed? Every time the moon gets covered with the clouds up there, he goes back to his normal self. I didn't even realize that. And you can only hurt him when he's little too, so that's convenient. I don't remember him in the show at all, though. Boss defeated. Next is DuckTales 2. I don't know who the hell drew this map of the world. Okay, so you've got Bermuda over here, and then on the top right is Niagara Falls. I assume that's Florida? So whatever, it's a cartoon version of the world. I never actually played this one. DuckTales 1 was one of the holy grails of the NES. I mean, that was one of the best games on the console. And when DuckTales 2 came out, it was already kind of late in the NES's life. So I was already kind of moved more. I still had my NES, but I wasn't really getting games for it much anymore. I was already into my Super Nintendo and my Sega Genesis, to where the NES at that point to me just felt kind of old, and I already kind of moved on from it already. So I missed out on this one. So I don't know if it's as good as the first one. I can tell you right now, it pretty much feels exactly the same. Like, I feel like if DuckTales came out today, DuckTales 2 would be DLC. It really does feel exactly the same. I mean, I've got the same moves. Enemies come at me, I bounce on them. There's treasure chests, platforms. How do I make... Oh, that's how I make a move. I hate this kind of shit. Whenever you're hanging onto something and you're trying to jump and then there's enemies bombarding you with crap, it's super annoying. So far, I'm not that impressed with this game. Maybe I just picked a bad level, but I don't think this level's very exciting at all. It's actually kind of a boring level. Maybe I should have picked something else. Niagara Falls or something. I thought the music was a little better in the first game too. Oh, looks like we're at the boss. And what do you know, it's a pirate on a pirate ship. He doesn't really do much but jump around, I guess. Actually, that's all he does. Not too bad. But that was incredibly easy. That mission's done too. And the last game on our list is Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers 2. I didn't play this one either. Looks like Fat Cat is getting out of jail. If you don't know Fat Cat, he's the cat, well, the fat cat that's kind of like the mob boss of all the bad guys. Like I said, there are some games in here that I did not play when I was a kid. This one came out even after DuckTales 2 did, so by then I was absolutely 100% into my Super Nintendo and Sega. So this game, I completely missed it on my radar. Which it also feels just like the first game, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Oh, I didn't even know I could throw these rats. That's actually kind of hilarious. I'm gonna go to town throwing them now. But yeah, this game feels no different than the first game either. Why fix what's not broken? The first game was awesome. This game seems awesome so far. You walk around, you jump, you throw crates. Looks like I'm in a giant sink. My fly friend. No! He just drowned me. What a dick. There was no indication of what I had to do there. He just turned on the sink and drowned me. He could have been like, yo, Dale, I'm gonna turn on this faucet, get on that cup. It's a pretty short level. Looks like I'm already at the boss. It's Water Rabbit. And I ended up picking Dale this time, by the way, because he wears a Hawaiian shirt. And I already played his chip. That moving water in the background gives me a headache. It makes me dizzy. I don't know why. It's like mesmerizing to look at. This is so easy. This rabbit just jumps around and splashes. Doesn't do anything else. That was the first level of all 6 games in this collection. I highly recommend this download because it's only 20 bucks. If you played these games growing up, it's a blast of nostalgia. If you're a younger viewer and you weren't around for this or you were too little to remember these games, go back and play them. I mean, when I was a kid, I would never imagine that I can get all 6 of these games for $20 total in one collection. It would have been unheard of. Remember to leave me a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave me a comment down below with your thoughts, because I always love to hear from you guys. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already and sign up for notifications, and check me out on social media, where I am very active. This is Fabian, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.